When you're running out of hospital beds and you're running out of ventilators, you got to do something draconian, because otherwise there would have been a lot more lives lost. The initial decision to lock things down unequivocally saved a lot of lives. No doubt about that. Not even close.
We have time for one more question.
Ooh.
Oh, I'm getting nervous. Someone in the back.
Hi, Dr. Fauci. I'm Ralph. I went to Regis High School also. Thank you so much for coming in here today. Really appreciate it. My question is about specifically the policy choices that were made related to lockdowns and other measures like that. Many of us in this room were not at Georgetown for over a year and a half on campus, and I was just wondering what you thought about policies like that and other school closures and measures like that in retrospect, knowing what we do now.
Yeah, well, locking down without a purpose, without an end game, you get the negative aspects. Whenever you lock down because you want to save lives. When you get to a point when you're locking down and you haven't either utilized the period to get the advantage of that, then lockdowns are ill-advised. Lockdown should be sparingly used and only used in emergent situations. So, and again, when you talk about lockdown, you got to be really careful what you mean by lockdown, because there are varying levels of lockdown. When we in the White House, when Debbie Birx and I proposed the 15-day shutdown followed by a 30-day shutdown, you may not remember, but that was when the meat packing freezer trucks were parked in front of Elmhurst Hospital because they had to put the bodies in there because the morgues were overflowing. The same thing was seen in Boston in front of Mass General and the Brigham. So when you have a tsunami of cases where you have to shut it off immediately, you can't say, let's wait X number of months until we get a vaccine, or let's wait X number of months until we do this. When you're running out of hospital beds and you're running out of ventilators, you got to do something draconian, because otherwise there would have been a lot more lives lost. However, you've got to balance that and continually testing whether it's still worth locking down. The initial lockdown reason was a life-saving reason. How long you close a school, how long you diminish activities on the outside has to be a dynamic process, which you've got to evaluate in real time. Now, is the risk-benefit still in favor of restriction, or is the risk-benefit leaning much more towards loosening up? And that's what's going to be interesting, because we're going to go back and examine that. Were things done too long or not? But the initial decision to lock things down unequivocally saved a lot of lives. No doubt about that. Not even close.